Hey guys, and welcome back to the channel. My name is Ari, and hopefully you'll stick around for a quick video. Talk about changes and how dealing with changes that I'm going through and that I'm trying to adjust to. As many of you know, I've been going through some job situations. So actually, Friday was the day that I turned in my keys at work. So I'm now officially, on the search to see what I find. I've got some time to do that. So thankfully I do have that at least to go on. But the big thing has just been, this has felt like the previous year has just been one change after another. And it can get really overwhelming. I had to take a little bit of time to just kind of try to get my head wrapped around what was going on. This past year, I finally started laser hair removal. I started therapy. I, started transitioning medically, and I'm now almost at the, going on 7 months that I've been on HRT. I came out at work. I dealt with some issues working through all of that. I came out to my mother. As a matter of fact, just last night, I finally posted on my personal Facebook page a call out to everyone that I currently know to let them know what was going on, and to basically have just one very simple coming out moment via a photograph, which I might insert the photograph here that I posted so you can see a little bit of what I'm talking about. But it's been a rough year, to say the least. And I have a lot of goals for the upcoming year, so I have that pressure that kind of lays on me. I was looking at top surgery at some point in time this year, which now is something I have to figure out how I'm going to make that happen. And then looking at the possibility of bottom surgery next year, if I can make it happen. But with, loss of insurance, it puts you in a nervous mood, a nervous situation. So the amazing thing about all this is I'm actually holding it together surprisingly well. I wasn't at first. It was a very complicated situation, and I had a lot of days where I was spending 14 hours in bed because I was just too depressed to even get up on those days off. And now, it was a little scary going into this time to where I don't have somewhere to get up and go to, the next morning. I don't have that job. So, I want to talk a little bit about how it is that through all of these changes, all of them, the good and the bad, have a lot of trauma connected to them. And what I've been doing to try to get myself, back out of it, and some of the pitfalls I've faced as well. And maybe you can relate to some of them. Maybe you can learn from a few of those experiences. Okay, guys, so just a few things when you're going through stressful situations that I've kind of learned, and in some cases I've learned in the hard way. The first thing is, don't neglect the physical. Oftentimes when we get into these depressive episodes, this dysphoria, this, changes come on us that we didn't expect or didn't want. You have a tendency, if you're like me, I go into my hibernation mode. And all I end up doing is spending time in bed. I don't eat right. It's just not healthy. So, don't forget that whatever you've got going on, eventually it's going to pass, and you're going to be stuck with, that lovely body that you've so neglected So make sure you're getting active. Make sure that you're staying busy. Another important thing is it's not just in keeping yourself physically busy. Don't let yourself dwell. One of the things I probably have neglected, but it's not necessarily a bad thing, has been some of my journal entries. I've missed days, and I'm an avid journaler. But I have missed some days because, unfortunately, when I start journaling, especially in the evening, then you end up sort of immersing yourself in all the mess of the day or the week or the year, and you can really kill your mood. So you've got to keep your mind occupied. Find your favorite television show, spend a little bit of time, watching it, go out somewhere. You know, I'm trying to do more. I'm going to try to do more videos while I'm off. Just something to keep your mind occupied, because your mind will start playing tricks on you when it's just you sitting around and thinking about what's not going right. Another thing is in coping mechanisms. One of my coping mechanisms is my sleeping, but I have another one that we don't talk about a lot that can be just as unhealthy in its own way, and that is shopping. I love shopping, and there is nothing wrong with going out and having a shopping day. But you've got to remember to practice a little bit of moderation. You still have to pay the bills. You still have to do what you've got to do. So don't let it get out of control. Make sure you're finding good coping mechanisms. Being active, doing something active is a good coping mechanism. Blowing your bank account is a bad coping mechanism. Having way too much to drink way too often, bad coping mechanism. You've got to play it smart as you're going through these moments and know it's going to pass. It sucks, whatever you're, for you in that moment, but give it time and eventually it'll be a memory. You just have to keep your mind on the positive. Another thing that I would say is if you are going to dwell on something, dwell on the successes. I get really down about what's happened with my career, but I have a lot of successes in that career and in the past year even that, I can think about. I did things that I never thought I'd be able to do. I came out to my family. I came out to everyone basically in my world. That was something that I have been imagining, Lord, I don't know how many years, but I think it's safe to say decades, that I've imagined being able to do that, and I never thought I could, and I did that. When it came to work, I live in a small town. Most of the people in the building I worked had probably never met a trans person before. And I had people when I was leaving, when it was my last day, that were wanting to basically had done a petition to keep me there and had written emails. In a small, conservative Midwest town. Now when they see, one of these bigoted, anti-transgender laws, they'll have a face to go with it. It won't be some faceless person. They will know someone who is trans, and it just so happened to be someone that they liked, someone that they respected. And they'll realize that it's not targeting this imaginary person. It's targeting someone they personally know. So, I did my part just in coming out at work and taking the time to talk to people and educate people to potentially make a difference. At least for them in that small little world in my own tiny, tiny way. But it wasn't insignificant. I also like to remind myself that, every day I went in and I gave my best. I treated my employees with respect. I left a legacy with them. I'm sure if you take the time to look back in your life, you've got those moments of bravery. So, hold on to those and don't give up. Changes, no matter what kind of changes, the positive and the good, can be a major stressor. They have been on me, and I get it. But you know, it's not necessarily the end of the world. You know, if your depression, if it goes to an unsafe point, seek help. You know, I'm not ashamed at all to say that I actively go to therapy. I love being part of therapy because even the most well-adjusted person sometimes needs some help, you know, to process what's going on. You know, if you're trans and you're going through a transition, even if you feel like you maybe don't suffer from the terrible dysphoria that you've heard about, you're still going to go through a lot of major changes. So there's nothing wrong with going and getting, you know, a decent therapist or being part of a support group. You know, make sure you reach out. You have groups like the Trevor Project if you're feeling too lonely and you start thinking unsafe thoughts about yourself and about your life. So don't give up, hold out, changes come, but at the end of the day, if you stick it out, there are better days on the horizon. This is a hard time for me, it's been a challenge, but it's not the first challenge I've encountered. It's not going to be the first, and it won't be the last challenge that I encounter, and the same is going to be true for you. But you know, all of those challenges that I faced in the past, they're now behind me and I overcame them. And I'm going to do the same with this one. And so can you. So anyway, guys, that's pretty much it for the video today. I just wanted to share a little bit of a word, keep you guys posted on what was going on in my life and how I'm dealing with everything. And hopefully maybe you can relate. You know, maybe you understand where I'm coming from. And if so, you know, just to get that same message to you that, you know, we're in this together. It might be rough, but we're going to come through it. So just tough it out. It's not easy, but it's worth pushing through. So in closing, in the words of Kesha, don't let the bastards get you down. Don't let your situation tear you apart. Hold your head up high. You know, you are doing something that you're making changes, you're going through your life, and you're being authentically you. That takes bravery. Hold your head up high, be proud of your accomplishments, and those people who want to get in your way, those people who want to bring you down, forget about them. You know, when it comes to what you're going through, when it comes to being yourself, you know, it's like the phrase, and I'll probably screw this up since I'm trying to say it on camera, but it's like the phrase, the ones that matter, the people that matter don't care, and the people that care don't matter. You know, that's what it comes right down to. Anyway, that's it for at the moment. Hopefully there'll be some more videos coming out today. I'm also going to try to do a live stream this evening if you want to join. Or this video may come out after the live stream. I don't know. But anyway, look for future live streams. Leave your comments and let me know what you think and what you'd like to see. Click the subscribe button if you haven't already. Have a great day. I love you guys, and I'll see you again very soon.